All right, I am so excited about today's episode because I found a perfect reel to break down for you exactly how to nail short form video, whether it's YouTube Shorts, TikTok, LinkedIn, Reels, right? We know video is obviously huge right now. It's not the only way to grow. It's not the only way to create. We know that too. But let me tell you, I'm a big fan of talk to camera. I'm a big fan of there's no one way to do a reel, right? There's hundreds of ways to do a reel, but I'm also a huge fan of simple reels that should not take more than like 5 minutes to put together. And this is a perfect example. Now, again, this reel went viral for this creator, right? Virality is, would the word be subjective? I don't know. Yeah, I guess so, right? It's just like what I always like to say, a reel went viral for you if it got like quadruple plus views than you normally would get. So let's say you have 500 followers, but you have a reel that goes to 10,000 views. Like that's huge for your account, right? For me, I don't really consider a reel to go viral for myself until it's over 1 million. That to me, it signifies, okay, I had a reel go viral. Cause usually my standard views are anywhere between 50K and like 200K for a reel. Again, a carousel post. Most likes I typically get on a carousel post is around like 3,000. So if I get 8,000, 10,000, I would consider that carousel to have gone viral. And just to remind you guys, average engagement rate on Instagram, 5%, meaning 5% of the people that see the piece of content have liked it. So you're probably doing better than you think, right? A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, my engagement rate's at 8%, 10%. I'm like, you're killing it. The more followers you get, that average engagement rate goes down. Like me, average engagement rate for an account at my size is between like 1% and 2%. With that said, I saw this reel doing really well for creator because she's around 30,000 followers, I believe. She got over 8,000 likes. Let's actually see how many views. Because remember, it's not always about the views. Someone will be like, I got so many views. And I look, I'm like, oh man, not many comments or likes. So we got to figure that out. All right, let's break this reel down because like I said, there's so many ways to create a reel. But one of my favorite ways is just a quick, either one solid clip or a few clips put together that demo what you're saying. So again, this is great for products, right? If you're baking a cake and you're saying this is the best cake to make for, again, you remember specificity, what's going on right now. We got Mother's Day coming up, summer, 4th of July, right? Think of things that are coming up so that they can kind of gravitate. Now, let me just tell you real quick. I saw another reel this morning. Again, specificity. Think of what your person's actually actively looking for right now. Genius hook. It said, black tie wedding guest dresses. If she said summer wedding guest dresses, I mean, that's fine. But she said black tie because that is something they're going to attach to because they're like, actually, I do have a black tie wedding coming up. Or she could have said a different type of wedding, right? So again, you want to make sure that you add just one or two extra words, something they can attach to, an identifier of some sort. And they're going to go, that's me. I have that coming up, or that's me. If I see a reel that says toddler mom, I'm watching. If I see a reel that says Raleigh, I'm watching because that's the area I live in. If I see a reel about Outer Banks, I'm going to stop. If I see a reel that says something about a show I'm watching or a store I frequent, if I see something about Trader Joe's, I'm watching, right? With that said, there's so many ways you can do this. And actually, real quick, before we get into the reel, another great example of this is when White Lotus was really obviously like the talk of everything a month ago. I saw an interior designer. I'll have to look her up and see if I can find it and put it in the show notes. But she would break down what she thought the characters' homes would look like based on their characters on White Lotus. Because remember, they're not home, they're at a resort. So she's like, here's what I think XYZ's home would look like. And she's an interior designer. So she's basically taking their character and personality, and people were loving it because guess what happened in the comments? People saying, actually, I bet this, or actually, you nailed it. Or what about even this kind of style, right? It started conversations, and it's a beautiful way to take something that's popular right now and create that specificity. So with all that said, I've got one specific reel I want to break down, and then I have a couple more because again, I want you guys to nail this. This is not rocket science, but it does take a little, probably just research. And you can use ChatGPT for this, right? So I would love for you guys at the end of this episode to go start making a list of words and phrases and brands and stores and shows and things like that that your people actually attach to. Okay, so this is the reel. I'm going to send it to Steph right now so I do not forget. This creator, let's see what type of creator she is a home decor creator. DIY tips, home finds. That's her thing. Design Delights is her account. And again, let's see how many views this got. 179,000. So again, for an account with 34,000 followers, and it looks like she normally gets around, she's got a lot of good performing reels. But then it looks like her average is like 6,000. And then she's got some that are over 100,000. So that's probably her benchmark. Over 100,000 for her is great. It's close to quadruple her following. Here we go. It says, I'll show you right now if you're watching on YouTube. The first clip, and I want you to think about a cookbook. I want you to think about a magazine for, think about country living. If country living, the cover of it, and maybe the whole theme is like summer country patios, right? Like, inside you're going to get some cool ideas for how to make your patio pretty. Okay, so the cover wouldn't show a bunch of stuff in boxes and pressed up against the wall, right? Or like it would show the final result, right? Same with a cookbook, right? Maybe it's a cookbook for desserts. You wouldn't show a bunch of like mixes, or maybe you would. You would show typically the end result, the desired dish, the desired cake, right? Because that's what we want. So same goes for this. So she starts, her first clip shows the thing they want. Again, you don't have to do it that way, but that's what I see that does so well. They show you the desired look first, and then they go, so whether you're in home decorating, cooking, styling, right? Now, styling, I usually see them start with something kind of like quote unquote boring, frumpy, and then they go. So this doesn't apply to everyone, but this is just a great way to just remember the word demo. If you don't want to start with the end result, you can always start with the before and then do the after. But sometimes, a lot of times, I see the after and then the before, or the process, excuse me. Here we go. Ready? It says she lets the text do most of the heavy lifting. And that is why I love Reels so much, because the video doesn't have to be anything crazy beautiful. Because if your video isn't the best quality, you don't have a videographer. Like me, I let my text do the heavy lifting. That's just me. Okay. It says, ditch the pricey and time-consuming wallpaper, grab a stamp, and DIY your own. Let's break this down, why this did so well for her. So again, the video starts with the end result, starts with the desired result that gives them a little dopamine hit and goes, "Ooh, I want that." And then she takes you to the store, shows you the stamp, and then she shows her putting the stamp on the bare wall, and then she shows the result. We're going back to the 3 S's, which you all know I love. Simple, specific, shareable. The words that scream simple. Ready? Ditch, grab, and what do you think the third one is? DIY. So ditch, we love to ditch things. We'd rather ditch things than add on to our plate, correct? So the word ditch is great because it's like, I'm ready to ditch something. Grab is way better than buy. It's way better than drive 30 minutes to the store to get it. Grab, right? Learn. We hate the word learn. Like, we don't want to learn. We just want the prize, right? It's human psychology. It's also again, this is Instagram. We're not here to lock into master classes. Okay. Grab, the word grab. Again, this is short form video that I'm talking about. And then the word DIY. DIY signals capable. I can do this. I've got this. So those 3 words, those fall under the word of simple. This makes it simple. It's also a simple tip overall, but those words signify simplicity. Next, specific. What is specific in that hook? And again, it's the same text the entire time. She didn't make it complicated. She went through her camera roll, grabbed 5 or 6 clips, put them all together about 1.5 seconds each, and put one text up the whole time, and chose some audio that matched the vibe. Done. Specificity. Pricey. She could have also said expensive, pricey, and time consuming. I geek out. I love it. Time consuming. Right away, we're like, yeah, you're right. Wallpaper is pricey and time consuming. For what? And then again, ditch the pricey and time consuming wallpaper. She could have just said ditch the wallpaper. I would have been like, why do I want to ditch the wallpaper? Wallpaper's so pretty. Ditch the wallpaper because it's time consuming and pricey. And she's giving you another option that is like so cute and so adorable. Ditch the pricey and time consuming wallpaper, grab a stamp, and DIY your own. You guys. And in the video, she shows it. She goes, here's the end result. Here's how I got here. I grabbed a single stamp and I smudged it all over my walls. And now look at this. You guys, insane. 2,500 shares. Guarantee it led to followers for her. Guarantee it led to just DMs. And then her caption simple, a $6 stamp and some extra paint, and it's the most fun laundry room ever. Now, she didn't do anything. I love hooks with the words I, me, etc. So she wants to repurpose this in like a month, which would be really smart. She go, I decided to skip the time consuming and pricey wallpaper and create my dream laundry room with a stamp. That could be another way she could repurpose and do the I, me method that I love that NNC doing. So let's go back. Here's another example of this. There is a travel reel, right? Because I want to make sure you guys know, like, oh, well, I love, and I'm the same. I wish I had pretty videos. Of course, it's a lot of fun to show pretty interiors. We love to see it. But I want to assure you, just because you're not an interior designer, if you're not an interior designer, you can still do this SSS to get crazy shares, etc. Here's an example for a travel agent. Again, I know travel's pretty, but give me a second. I promise I got you. All-inclusive resort, only 2 hours from Miami, $678, including flights. If you're watching on YouTube, there it is. A bunch of tiny 1-second clips showing this. What he or she could have said, it's a travel agency, it looks like, could have said, all-inclusive resort in the Caribbean, Cool. Not going to stop the scroll though. Not going to go crazy for them. 4,000 shares. 4,000 shares off 5,000 likes is insane. That's like almost 100%, right? She said all-inclusive resort only, the word only signifies simple, specific wording, all-inclusive resort. All of those are specific. The word Miami is specific. And of course, it's shareable because once you add in simple and specific, it's shareable. So specific, it's simple. Only 2 hours from Miami. That signals, oh, if I can just get to Miami, we're there. I can be at the beach by noon, right? I could be at the pool by noon. So that's another example. Let me find one more for y'all. Here's another one. I love this because this is a mom account. Let's see what she does. She is, oh my gosh, she's following me. Let me follow her back. Paige Connell. She's a working mom, mental load, childcare, sharing the realities of marriage and motherhood. So that's her account. Again, personal brand, and probably a lot like me where it's like, I don't really get to record a bunch of pretty things. I'm in the house most of the time, right? Her hook is beautiful. The mental load, kids clothing swap. She could have said motherhood, mental load. We know, we're aware. Kids clothing swap. And because of the video, again, demo doesn't mean you actually have to take a product apart, put it together, go to the store. She's demoing simply because the tub of clothes is in the video. So right away as a mom, I know what that looks like. We have to do it every 6 months because these girls grow so fast. It's insane. She's got a tub of clothes right there with all the clothes in it. So right away, it signals to my brain, relatable, familiar, I get this. And again, she didn't just say motherhood or, she's about to talk the mental load. And the word mental load is a phrase I can attach to. It's an identifier I get. And then kids clothing swap, specific, shareable. Also, because I'm going to share it with my mom friends, I'm going to share it with my husband. And then she goes on to talk about the mental load of like, it's not just getting rid of clothes. It's going, this is a phase of my life that's dwindling. And it goes so fast. Not to get emotional. Okay. With that all said, I just love to kind of come back every few episodes and just talk about some reels that are doing really, really well. Hers had a ton. Let's see. She's got a large following. So it is pouring. Do you see how just dark it got in here? And by the way, guys, I just got the Osmo camera. So by next week, it's going to be, we're stepping up this podcast, y'all. Finally. You guys are probably like, thank God. All right. So 37,000 likes, 27,000 shares. Holy moly cannoli. 1 million views. There we go. We got a viral hit because she's got 245,000 followers. So a million. So again, like 3 to 4 times more than your followers is a good way to look at it as well. Again, there's no book that says you went viral if you got this many views. No, it's like if it went viral for you. So let's see what the comments are saying. The sadness when you put something away that both your kids wore and it's the last time, oh my God, I'm going to die. That is my kids right now because Chloe's our last. So when I put away Chloe's stuff and give away, it's gone. It's done. Oh, so again, this is one of those heard reels. It's also storytelling. It's beautiful. She's telling you in the moment. And I tell you guys all the time, record in the moment. Don't force the content. Let the content happen in your life or force it. You have to sometimes. Sometimes we got to force it. But as much as you can, document those real life things and talk about it. But again, her hook is brilliant, specific, shareable, simple. So there you go. That is the winning formula. And again, like I always say, if it's not a voice, if you're not talking, make sure the audio, typically you want it trending. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but ideally that's great. Under about 5,000 uses is great. Also look at the videos within the trending audio, see if they're also getting a lot of views. Again, there's not a real science to any of this. There's no one way to do any of this. I always say good content is good content. Good content's going to go off whether the audio has 1 million uses or 2, but just make sure the audio matches the vibe. If it's a really like touchy-feely hug reel, then the audio should reflect that. If it's a fun tutorial that's upbeat and like exciting, make it fun. So there you go. I hope that helps. Those are a bunch of viral reels right now. They're doing really well and they come down to the 3 S's every time. Even if it's a humorous reel, it's specific, shareable, and simple because it's usually one funny concept. Oh, let's talk about it real quick before I let you go. Sorry, this is longer than normal, but I wanted to cover all this. I just had a reel go insanely viral for me. It's at 2 million views, I think so far. For me, I've had a couple viral. I had one at 1 million, which is just, and let's talk about that hook real quick. Subliminal hooks for your reels that are super subtle, but proven to increase views. Again, one subject, simple. I know I'm making them feel capable because the list is easy peasy. So there's that. But the other one that went viral was humor. And I said it was off a viral trend. I got 1.8 million and the shares, 20,000 shares, 73,000 likes. It's been crazy. And it's me doing the Jaws trend. I'll put it again in the show notes. And essentially all I'm doing is I'm demoing what people do. And I say, how friends and family who never like or comment on anything be in your stories. And I'm just kind of creeping and then walking away, then creeping and walking away. People loved it because it's relatable. The specificity, I could have just said how people. I said friends and family. I could have said Instagram. I said stories, not just Instagram, stories. And the simple was, it's a simple concept. It's right. And then it's obviously shareable because it was relatable. So it doesn't always have to be educational content, talking to the camera. The 3 S's apply to every single short form video. I promise you. And you'll start noticing that. So there you go. Make your word bank. Use ChatGPT again. Instead of learn or buy, grab, use, steal. We love stuff like that. It feels simple. And then specificity, talk to them with phrases, words, brands, etc., that they know and they can attach to, and the shares will go crazy. I love you, friend. I'll talk to you next week. Mwah.